Hello dear first year students, welcome once again to English classroom. This is S. Srikanth, Assistant Professor of English. So today in this video, let us see the second part of soft skills. In our last video we have seen two soft skills. They are motivation and goal setting and self-confidence. In today's video, let us see non-verbal communication and interpersonal skills. So what are these skills? So once again I tell you, soft skills are skills which are very important for our life, for our career, not only in the family atmosphere and also work front. These are very important. If you don't have soft skills, you don't get the desired success in your career. Though you have very good knowledge, subject knowledge, you got very good marks, still people look for soft skills in a candidate. That's very important. So I want to make a correction. Can you see this better? Right. So soft skills are very important. So the very word skill is something which can be developed through practice. Just like you learned how to ride a bicycle, how to ride a motorbike, how to ride a car, how to write the letters in the beginning of your schooling, right? These are the skills. But what are soft skills and how they are different from hard skills? That's important. Hard skills are your subject knowledge, your domain knowledge. For example, you have good knowledge in mathematics, that's hard skill. For example, you know how to ride a bicycle, how to ride a car, that's hard skill. Suppose some crafts like carpentry, right, painting, okay, playing cricket, these are hard skills. They are professional skills, more or less, or subject knowledge, right? But soft skills have nothing to do with the profession, but something to do with a person. They are inside. Okay, whatever job you do externally, but you should be, making use of these soft skills as and when required. Okay, a soft skill can be, having the knowledge of how to speak with new people, right? How to maintain yourself, your appearance can be a soft skill. Okay, how to be confident, a soft skill. So a person with a larger skill set is bound to become more successful than the person who has a very less skill set. Okay, so our job is to, in this undergraduate course, to learn and practice as many soft skills as possible in the course of these 3 years. So end of the course, you are ready. Not only you are ready with your domain knowledge, subject knowledge, you're also ready with the soft skills to face any kind of interview, to go into higher studies and pursue your goals. That's very important. Okay, suppose you don't know how to set a goal for yourself, you don't have that skill. Setting a goal is also a skill, right? So the very name suggests soft. They are not concrete, but they can be built. They can be built up with proper knowledge by systematic approach, right? So there are more than 100 soft skills according to a list given by some experts. So as many skills as you have, the better for you. So nowadays, any company, any employer always looks for soft skills in a candidate more than the percentage of marks you got, more than the knowledge you have in a subject. If a person has more soft skills, then you are the more eligible candidate for the company. You are more fruitful and person who can give more productivity to the company. Okay, so that is important in today's society, right? So first skill is non-verbal communication in today's video, and second one is interpersonal skills. So let us take up the first one and the third in your semester, non-verbal communication. Okay, what is non-verbal? And tell me, what is verbal? Verbal means I am speaking, there is verbal. Whatever you speak through your mouth is verbal, right? So whatever you do not speak, that is non-verbal. Okay. So without speaking, how do you communicate? You think that by speaking only you tell what's your name? You say your name, that you are communicating. Your name, okay, your parentage, okay, your background. You tell or you write, right? So anything you do with your mouth or through writing is verbal. Okay, what is non-verbal? Okay, that is verbal through whatever you speak through mouth is verbal. Whatever you write is written. But what is non-verbal? Okay, what is the importance of non-verbal communication? Generally, you think that speech is the powerful communication, and also written form of communication is also very powerful communication. But in reality, it is non-verbal communication which is much more powerful than your verbal communication. Why? Okay, let's go and explore. Apart from spoken and written communication, there is also non-verbal communication represented by body gestures, external stimuli. So there is third form of communication. Apart from verbal written communication, there is another important communication, that's non-verbal. You don't communicate, you communicate through mouth, okay, you communicate by writing, okay, but there are other things which communicate much more powerfully. You are speaking, but the people who are listening to you, okay, observing so many things, okay, they are observing your voice, they are observing your appearance, okay, they are observing your body postures, okay, they are observing your facial expressions, okay, they are observing the way you stand, your shoes, your dress, the way, the distance you keep. All these are non-verbal cues. So this is communicated automatically. They always believe or take what your body and other non-verbal cues are saying than what you are saying through your mouth, right? So these are non-verbal, generally represented by your body gestures, body movements, how you move your hands, legs, face, eyes, expression, how your muscles, whether they are contracting or extracting, okay, whether the muscles are contracting or expanding, that's important. How your eyelids move, okay, whether you have cheerfulness while saying, or whether your feelings are angry, etc. Everything goes on to show that what kind of person you are, whether you're telling lies or whether you're speaking truths. That's important. That's communication, right? So non-verbal communication is more powerful. That is about 75% of the people. 70% you communicate than verbal communication, which happens about 30%. You tell 100 things, but your body is saying something. Your face is saying something. Your eyes are saying something. Okay? You say that you are a rich person, but you dress it shabbily. You're wearing a dirty dress. Your hair is not okay. You don't know how to arrange your hair. Then it speaks. People don't believe you. They don't believe your words. They believe in your appearance. Okay, the manner you speak to them. Okay, eyes are indicators. Your body is indicator. Your dress is indicator. Your language, how you modulate your language is important. So 30% you are relating to the person through your mouth. 70% automatically it gets conveyed to people, right? So that is non-verbal communication. You got some idea? We'll go a little further. Non-verbal communication is very important to be successful in workplace environments such as interviews, meetings, and presentations. So non-verbal, why it is important? You should be very careful. You should groom yourself so perfectly. Okay, verbally, okay, you prepare so well, but non-verbally you must take utmost care to be successful. Where? At workplace, wherever you are working, in an office, in a company, okay, in a supermarket, wherever you are working, your non-verbal communication matters. Such as interviews, you're attending interview, non-verbal communication extremely important, especially your students. Okay, after completing graduation 3 years, you might appear for an interview. That interview, non-verbal communication, you should be very, very careful. You should have full knowledge about it, and you should know how to improve your non-verbal communication, how to present yourself in a better manner. Okay, that's important. Or it may be meetings. In a meeting, how do you conduct yourself? How do you appear, present yourself before the audiences? You are the speaker. You're giving keynote address. How do you stand in front of the audiences? Right, that's important. You must know that. Okay, presentations. You're giving a presentation to a group of students, your classmates, or a teacher giving a presentation to his students, right? A scientist giving to presentation to some other scientists in some other country. Everywhere, this non-verbal communication, okay, is very, very important. One should pay attention to oneself, and one should have knowledge first. Then you know how to improve that communication. For verbal communication, how do you improve? How do you improve your language? You collect your vocabulary, Telugu vocabulary, English vocabulary. You write down meanings. You look into the dictionary how to pronounce it. You practice spelling. You practice sentences. You practice grammar. Okay. So you present your points in a systematic order. First point you say the topmost priority. Which point should be given the topmost priority? Which point should be given the next priority? Which point should be given the last priority? You put everything in order in verbal communication. Here also you should care, because it is carrying 70% weightage with it. You should give double the amount of effort to yourself, to your appearance, to your speech, to your dress, to your facial expressions, to all these non-verbal cues, right? See this picture. It's what you don't say that counts. You don't say anything, people understand automatically looking at you. These are some pictures, representative pictures. Suppose this woman, okay, she's standing like this, her legs are crossed, she is defensive. Okay, she's lying. Whether the person speaking truths or speaking lies, just by looking at the person you can say. People understand, or you also can understand. Okay, and hiding something, because he is wearing goggles, black specs, he must be hiding something. And menacing is like standing like this. That is, what does it mean? Is threatening you, and his shoulders are a little bit droop. Okay, and is look at the gaze, is insecure, and these hand folded. Okay, there is aggressive nature. It could be aggressive nature, hostile attitude. By looking at his shoulders you can say whether it is friendly or hostile, okay, or against you. And just looking at the eyes you can say, and the head, she's interested in something, knowing the things. You are stupid, the way he stands here, and hands in the front pockets. Okay, suppose somebody is speaking in a meeting, and some of the boys sitting at the back of the hall. Okay, they look for some time. Okay, their very body says that the person is fooling you. You think that the person is a fool, he is speaking, and within 2 minutes you will, okay, go out of the hall. The way you stand you can say, so this person shows that thinks you are stupid. Whatever you are speaking, that's why he is no more interested, he leaves the hall. Okay, and impatient to leave. The way you stand shows that whether you are going to sit for half an hour, or whether you are going to go out of the class or meeting hall within 2 minutes. All these cues, you should be a better reader of body movements, especially in business deals, or especially when dealing people. When you are talking to a new person, you should know this body language is very important. Your voice is very important, right? So learn to read and influence people through non-verbal communication. Not only you improve non-verbal cues, non-verbal communication methods, you should also know other people's non-verbal cues, what they are suggesting to you. Then only you will be a successful person. Your work front and your business, whatever activity you do. Suppose your friends are there. Which friend is genuine friend of yours? You know by looking at his speech, manners, speech, body language, so many things actually, right? So what is a cue? I gave you this meaning, a signal. Body gives a signal. This person is genuine. This person is honest. This person is a cheat. Body gives a cue. Body gives a suggestion. Body gives a signal. Okay. So let's see some methods. Non-verbal communication happens broadly in three aspects. There are several items actually, important points, but broadly non-verbal communication happens through three aspects. One is your body language. Second is voice, how you utter, not just the speech, the sentences, but how you modulate your speech. Second point, body, voice, and appearance, the dress, etc. These are the three broad aspects on which non-verbal communication happens. And after okay, learning about the three broader aspects, we go into the minute aspects, right? First, body language. Body speaks a lot about one's attitude and comfort levels through movements, gestures, and distance. Body speaks through its movements, through the gestures. Whether the person speaking is comfortable, whether the comfortable or not, whether the person is speaking genuine things, is honest, and through movements, how the body moves when you speak to other person, how much distance you are taking. Okay, your body shows whether comforting, you're lying, you're honest, everything body shows. Gestures of your hands and limbs and facial expression, anything, gestures cover so many things. We'll come to that little while from now. And distance, how much distance you are keeping with the person. Okay, always a person keeps distance, he is not interested to come to you and learn things from you. Comes closer, then it shows that he wants to be friendly with you. But he comes much more closer, then you should avoid that person. Okay, everything shows. Voice. So voice, simply speaking sentence is not enough. Other people will gauge the genuinity of the speech through modulation. How you modulate the speech. There are so many aspects in your speech while you utter. There is pitch, there is tone, high tone or low tone, intonation, falling or rising, whether you are speaking aggressively, whether you are speaking at the top of your voice, or whether you are shouting, saying slowly, pleasantly, all these things. Speed, suppose you say something very speed, lot of speed, or slowly, all these things say something about the attitude of the person. And clarity, how much clarity you are speaking. All these things, voice, look, chala unta aspects. So all these aspects decide the levels of understanding and emotions. Okay, all these has to decide the emotion of the person, and they also decide the emotions of other people also, depending on your voice, your modulation, your intonation, your speed, your clarity. And the third broader aspect, apart from body language, voice, and appearance, they're not just the body movements. Here, appearance. What is appearance? How a person appears to the people who are listening. Okay, you're speaking, okay, standing in front of them or sitting in front of them, but how do you appear? How you present yourself, right? How a person appears to the people who are listening, okay, creates a positive or negative feeling or impression in them. It creates, instantly it creates, within 45 seconds, they come to an opinion about your attitude or so many aspects. Either your appearance might create a negative or positive impression within few seconds. Okay, so good dressing is important if you want to, okay, create a positive impression. Good dressing is important. It need not be a costly dress. It should be plain and well ironed, well pressed. Upkeep of hair, you should well groom your hair. Okay, you should not keep disheveled hair. You should keep your very, very neatly, right? It should be well combed. Nails should be very neat. Okay, nails should not look dirty. Shoes should be they should be clean, especially whatever is the quality of the shoes, but it should be very clean. You should instantly give a positive impression that this person takes care of himself. When people get an opinion that this person can take care about himself, he can take care about the things around him and the organization that he's working for, etc. Right? These are very important things you should keep in mind, especially in work friend environment, in your academics, everywhere. Okay, when you are attending an interview, when you are okay, doing a job in an office and a company, etc. So there are 7 important elements of non-verbal communication. Apart from these 3 broader points, aspects, we go a little bit of minute aspects which come under all these 3, right? For example, kinesics. When you talk about body, kinesics means movements. How your body movements. Body movements is kinesics, first point. Movements of body like how you move your hands, legs and head. Okay, when you move a hand very fast, then that is something. When you move a hand like this, negativity. When you move a hand like this is your accepting agreement. Okay, fidgeting, don't, in an interview especially, don't fidget with your fingers, don't move too much about, because people's attention is drawn to your hands and legs. Hands and legs should be firmly placed at a place and should be avoided. Fidgeting should be avoided. Fidgeting means doing like this, moving your hands too much, okay, shaking your legs too much. This is fidgeting. That should be avoided in interview or a meeting or any place. Or while you are listening to your lecture also, you should not fidget. Stand at one place while speaking. When you start at one place instead of roaming out all the place, that also, especially you are giving a keynote address, a lecture, you stand at a place that shows that you are confident. If you are, when you are performing, when it is a dramatic performance, you should cover all over the stage. It depends actually, right? So movement of body, legs, hands, etc. Head is important. Proxemics, how much proximity you are keeping with a person. For example, distance or personal space decides intimacy with others. So when you are talking with a person, when you are close to the person, you want to make friends. When you are keeping a distance of 1 meter, then you want to, okay, you want to keep the person away from you. You want to keep aloof. And during this corona times, physical distancing should be maintained. At least a distance of some 3 meters should be kept. Corona times, that's a different aspect. Okay, but generally, how much distance you are keeping is very, very important. And when you go much more closer to the person, that causes inconvenience. You should be close, reasonably close, not so close that causes inconvenience. You should give his personal space, right? Posture, when you sit like that, you're ready to listen. It shows something. When you are, okay, sitting with a bent waist and bent shoulders, then you're not interested. So the way you sit and stand, hand fold, posture. Sometimes it can be confident. Sometimes it can be defensive. Leg crossing. When you are crossing your legs, you are defensive. Or sometimes shows your what you call arrogance also. Sometimes when you cross your legs, when you place one leg on the other and you are shaking your leg, then that shows arrogance sometimes. So all these things do matter. Other people are already, you are communicating already more than you communicate through your words. Eye contact, your contact. Okay, you may not physically touch a person. You may not be at a distance, okay, touching distance. You can speak to 1 lakh people, but you can contact them, all the 10 lakh people who are listening. You are a big public speaker. For example, Martin Luther King addressed 2 lakh people at a time, but he had the contact with eyes. So contact is very, very important in order to draw the attention of the people, especially in public speaking or any individual other speaking. Make an eye contact with your audience. It indicates trust and confidence. Okay, when you look straight into the eyes, that means the person believes in you and you have belief in the other person. So the trust, in order to establish the trust and confidence in the other person, you should look into the eyes. You look straight into the eyes, and that shows you are confident also. That shows you are telling honest things, that you are honest also. Facial expressions. Okay, your face is indicator. When you smile, it indicates something. When you frown, when you shrink your facial muscles, then you are irritated. Blink your eyes. Too many blinks, that doesn't look nice. Indicate cheerfulness. Smile indicates cheerfulness. Okay, frown indicates irritation. okay, etc. Face is the index of so many things actually, right? Face, when you are joyful, okay, there is cheerfulness, okay. So face expresses joys, okay, your fears, your doubts, and anything, your question mark. Through facial expression also you can ask a question, right? And physiological changes. Physiology means body. Body low, certain changes automatically come. And they tell that when you are sweating, you are nervous. During the examination time, when you're asked to come onto the stage, a lot of perspiration, sweating happens in your body. So then you are not comfortable. Shivering, you are fearful, you are frightening to speak in front of others. Okay? When your lecturer calls you into the department, when your lecturer calls to the department, you are shivering. That means you are frightened, you are nervous. Paralanguage, yes, I told you already. With regard to the broader aspect, voice. So voice is at elemental level you have paralanguage. Voice is a broader aspect. So voice covers or language covers when you utter a word or a sentence. It has so many minute aspects like intonation, rise, fall, tone, the tone, what tone it is, pitch of your voice. So tone, intonation, and pitch are different aspects of this voice, convey different meanings. High pitch, low pitch, etc. So one should regulate the above non-verbal cues and signals to be a good communicator. You should know first what are the non-verbal cues and you should practice them. You should put a lot of effort rather than much more effort than your verbal presentation, than you are presenting in a non-verbal way through your body, through your voice, through your, what else? What is the third aspect? Appearance. You must put a lot of effort. Imagine that you have been asked to attend an interview for the position of a customer. Okay, this is activity, you must do it. So imagine that you have been asked to attend an interview for the position of a customer service representative in a bank. Okay, you are attending an interview for a bank. List 6 ways in which you will prepare for the non-verbal part of your interaction at the interview. What all the points we have discussed. How do you prepare yourself? Put those at least 6 points. How do you prepare yourself? This is the way I am going to dress. This is the way I am going to keep my, hair. This is the way I am going to keep my expressions. Okay, this is the distance I am going to, maintain. This is the way I am going to sit. This is the way I am going to stand. This is the way I am going to move my hands. Right? All these things, at least 6 important elements that I have discussed earlier, put them on the paper. That's very important. When you put them, you actually execute them. B, next activity. Identify, this is an exercise actually, identify the message that each of the non-verbal signals below conveys. So there are about 6 non-verbal signals are given. What is the message or the thing it communicates to other people? That you have to notice, right? That you have to tell. You can choose an appropriate answer from the options in the brackets. Okay, there are 6 non-verbal cues given, and within the brackets there are 2 messages these non-verbal cues or signals convey. So which is the appropriate message this particular expression, a non-verbal cue, is conveying? Okay, I'll tell you. Shall we start? Okay, number 1, open hands. Somebody's hands are open. What is the non-verbal suggestion it is giving? And somebody's open hands. Like this, whether he is asking a question or expressing desire to share views. So suppose you have seen an incident in your college and he has come to the class and you are telling the things to your classmates. When you are hiding the information, you don't open your hands and you want to share. This is what I know. You are willing to share every detail that you know about that particular incident or anecdote, right? So this is expressing desire to share views, open hands. This is what I know. I'm ready to tell you, right? Cross-legged. Okay, we've already seen in the picture. Somebody's cross-legged means whether he's defensive or relaxed. when is a defensive mode, whether he wants to protect himself. Okay, so his body shows that he is in a defensive mood, he wanted to protect something. Cross legs indicate that. What is this non-verbal cue? Tilting of the head. Just tilt your head towards to a side and move. Exhausted, you are tired or interested? Interested. When you are interested, you just tilt your head and listen like this. You tilt your degree up to tilt your head to a degree of 30 or 45 degrees. Okay. When you are interested, you tilt. Clenched hands, just clenched. Tension or self-confidence? Clenched hands means just like this. When you are in tension, you clench your hands. Clenched fist or clenched hands when you are a little bit nervous, right? Frown. You shrink your like this. Shrink your facial muscles. Okay. When you joy, you smile and your muscles will expand. Frown, your muscles will be shrunk. So it indicates not attentive or annoyance. Frown is irritation. You get annoyed. Annoyed is correct here. Hands on the hips like this. On the waist region. Whether you are aggressive or confidence. Aggressive. Okay. When you are speaking to your enemy or when you are playing a game when you are on one side of the court, other people are other side of the court. When you stand, when you are playing kabaddi, then you are aggressive. Just you are in attacking mode, little bit of attacking mode. Okay, these are non-verbal cues and non-verbal communication. Okay, let's move on to the second one, the fourth in the series, interpersonal skills. Okay, interpersonal means you are a person in a society. For example, your classroom, there are about 40 students and you are one among the 40 students. And how you should behave in that group in that class of students. And you are a part of the society. For example, in your college there are 50 houses and your house is one. Okay, you are part of this state, you are part of this humanity. Or else you are working in an office, there are about 50 or 20 employees, your colleagues. How do you behave with them? You should know certain things in order to be successful in your work, in order to be successful in your endeavors, whatever. Okay, the skills should be there. Okay, in any organization, interpersonal skills are important among its members for its growth and development. Suppose you are a team, all the team members should know how to be successful in the team. Each member of the team should know how to behave with others. Then everybody knows certain skills. Then that team is the better team. That team comes first always. That team grows and develops always. Because all the members know the interpersonal skills. Okay, the team members should communicate well, work together with the team spirit and motivate one another for its success. So for example, you have IPL, Indian Premier League, which is happening in UAE. All the teams have already flown to UAE. For example, there is Sunrisers team, okay, Chennai Super Kings team, Kolkata Knight Riders, Delhi Daredevils. So many teams are there. Whichever team has better communication skill, better interpersonal skills within the team, whichever team has better team spirit, okay, whichever team members communicate well among themselves, whichever team works together as a group, well-knit group, the team has high chances of their winning the trophy rather than apart from their own talent. Okay, how do you communicate as team members? That is important. For example, this team, observe, they are doing a project here. The picture shows that they are seriously doing a project and they are communicating well. Somebody is telling, somebody is listening, somebody is trying something. Okay, they are closely connected. That communication is happening here. Okay, there are no differences. They are well knit. Somebody is telling, somebody is listening, and they are very well involved in interaction. That interaction is there among all the members. Okay, whether they are listening attentively or they are speaking very interesting with a lot of attention towards others. So nobody is disconnected in the group. When as far as you have that connectedness, that team spirit is there, that communication is there within the team, that team is going to achieve success. In the 21st century, no individuals achieve success, only teams achieve success. Teams which have better interpersonal skills achieve success. Okay, what are interpersonal skills per se? Let's go deep into that and delve and explore the details. Interpersonal skills include the following skills. So basically, if you know what are the interpersonal skills, what are the sub skills it includes, then you are automatically a better person with better interpersonal skills, right? First, you should have one of the interpersonal skills is verbal communication. Speak with clarity. Your speech should be very well, okay, mannered, very well uttered. Speak with clarity when you are speaking with team member, with your colleague, with your classmate. The clarity of speech should be there. Verbal communication, right? The words which you choose, you should choose pleasant words. You should arrange your sentences. You should tell the points in a systematic order. There should be order. Top priority, next priority, next priority. You should know that. How well you explain, okay, your points, how well you convince other people through your argumentative method, how better examples you give. These are verbal, okay, communication techniques. Non-verbal communication. As we discussed just a few minutes ago, non-verbal communication within the team and team members should happen very, very, very fluently. Okay, very, very, very in a greater extent. So non-verbal communication within the team members or within the organization, okay, which supports verbal communication. Okay, it is a supporting thing, but it's much more powerful. People notice certain gestures like facial expressions, posture, voice, and appearance, etc. So all these things, as we discussed, these things come into picture, and you should take care of your facial expressions. The distance you keep with others while speaking, the posture you use, the confidence level, the way you shake hands with it. It should be a firm shake hand. Firm shake hand tells the confidence. If it is a limp shake hand, then you are not comfortable. Okay, these are important things when you communicate within your group, within your team members. Reveals attitude, and it is more effective than verbal communication. So this non-verbal communication reveals your attitude, your behavior, your approach towards your work. So this should be maintained within the team, within the organization. And third interpersonal skill is listening. Listen before you speak. Not just speaking all the time. Communication means not speaking. It is mostly listening. First, let the other person speak and listen attentively. Look into the eyes while speaking. Without getting used, listen. And when he or she stopped, then you speak. Then the other person respects you. Then the true communication happens. True communication is not speaking all the time, but listening most of the time. You should have the patience to listen what other people are saying to you. Negotiation. Work for a mutually agreeable or win-win solution. So within the team, don't say that I will do only this work, and other person also wants to do the same work, and you should step back sometimes in a team. Okay, so you should have an approach of give and take. Sometimes you step backwards, sometimes you go forward. This negotiation should be there, and both should share the work equally. Both should bear the burden equally, and sometimes he will have the advantage, sometimes you will have the advantage, and you should actually look from the other person's standpoint. You should look from the other person's eyes. Then always what happens, a mutually agreeable solution comes. That negotiation should be there from you. All the members should negotiate, otherwise things will be frozen and work will be held up and your team will lose ultimately, right? Problem solving within the team, most people should have this skill. Not only the team leader or a captain, most members of the team should have the team, what we call problem solving technique. What is problem solving? By using analytical and creative thinking skills, one can solve problems in the work frame. So members of the team, as a team member, you should have the skill of problem solving. Suppose some problem crops up in a team, that should not come in the way of progress. Okay, work should not be halted. Okay, you should negotiate, you should analyze the things. Okay, you should, okay, think creatively and try to solve the problem. Okay, nobody has this skill in the team. That team is bound to lose in the very beginning stages of the competition or endeavor. And decision making, the team should take a decision together. Okay, as a team player, you should have decision making prayer. This is also one of the important interpersonal skills which is required for a team or organization. So good decisions can be made with right analysis of the available options. What is a good decision? There are so many options actually. Don't say that there is no solution. Don't say that I can't take a decision. There are so many options. Okay, analyze and divide the problem, divide the situation into so many components, and you will arrive at the, then you can see which is the better option that you can, which is the better line of action that you can take. Okay, when you divide the work, divide the situation, divide the task into several components, then you understand which is the better option. So by knowing this, okay, dividing the task into several components, you can definitely make a better decision most of the times, right? You should be a better decision maker. Assertiveness, say it confidence. Suppose you are following certain, okay, religion, certain culture, you have certain faiths and beliefs, don't give them up. You should be very confident saying, don't, okay, fall a prey to the views and their cultural points. Okay, throw a burden on your head. You are a person, you should keep your individuality, you should show it through your words, you should be very confident. Okay, don't become a prey to the other people, don't become a slave to the other people. You should be very assertive and confident. Sometimes you should keep your individuality all the time. So stick to your beliefs and values firmly and freely. Though you are a team member, you have your own value system that should not be violated by anybody. Though nobody wants to follow you, you need not follow others also, as long as your work goes on smoothly. That assertiveness should be there, that confidence should be there. You should tell the others what you are, what family you belong to, what community you belong to. Okay, you should have respect on yourself. Okay, what do you call, the things you are following in your life, the ideology that you are following in your life, you should always, okay, maintain your stand and position and keep your self-respect. That's important. Express them. Okay, you should now and then, whenever time comes, you should express them that this is the person I am. You cannot violate my stand, you cannot violate my freedom. You must say very firmly. The firmness should be there regarding values, regarding some practices and beliefs and customs, right? Manners and etiquette. Okay, these are also very, very important in a team. As a person, you must know how to behave in a team, in a classroom, in a society, in a colony, and within your family. The social manner should be there. You should not violate the freedom. You should not, okay, cause inconvenience to other people. Suppose you dress shabbily, that causes inconvenience sometimes. When you laugh loudly, that causes inconvenience. When you speak loudly on phone, that causes inconvenience. When cell phone rings in a meeting, that's an inconvenience. You should know, you should take care of all these things. Okay, knowing how to behave. Etiquette means all these things, your dress, okay, your upkeep, your appearance, everything. Okay, the way you eat in a group, the way you laugh in a meeting, the way you sit, all these things come under etiquette. So knowing how to behave in a group and basic understanding of cultures of others is important in a social setup. Suppose you are living in a colony, you know how to behave with your neighbors. Suppose elders are there, you should know how to address them. Elders you should address as sir, that's the minimum. Okay, you should not, in our culture, you shouldn't greet a person with singular. Okay, You should always address others with plural. You should say sir. You should have respect to others, elders and women always. Your language should be decent. You should be respectful. You should have courtesy towards. Whenever somebody helped you, you should have the courtesy to say thank you. Whenever you hurt somebody, you should be able to be sorry. You should be apologetic sometimes. All this you should know. Okay? Just because you have freedom, you shouldn't dress as it is. You should fall into the group. You fall into the group. There is a code of conduct. Okay, there is a what you call list of rules given by your company. You should follow to that, right? If a person has as many skills as possible, then he would have so much more interpersonal abilities, which are essential for any group or individual in the modern society. So in the modern society, even if you are an individual or you are a part of the group, if you have as many interpersonal skills like this, out of 8 you can have as many as you can have, or more than what are not figured out in this list, the better for you to succeed as an individual in a society, as a team member in your organization in the modern days. Okay, earlier days people lived in stone, in caves. In those days it's okay, but nowadays you are communicating. There is globalization. Okay, you are working in teams. In 21st century, nobody wins any success individually. You are part of a team. So that's why you should be a very good person with good interpersonal skills mentioned above. So there is an activity. Write out at least 5 verbal and non-verbal techniques to make the other person feel at ease in a conversation. So what is the intention, ultimate intention of non-verbal techniques? To make other people comfortable, to put them at ease. So the task is write about 5 verbal and 5 non-verbal techniques to make the other person feel at ease in the conversation. When you're speaking to other person in a group or individually, what are the 5 verbal? What are the techniques, measures you take verbally? What are the measures to take non-verbally? What are the verbal techniques? Generally tell me. Your speech, your words should be well chosen. You should practice before you going to meet the person. Okay? How you put your points in order? How do you analyze something? What examples you are going to show? How you are going to argue? Right? Your language aspects should be well taken. So 5 techniques, anything you think and write. Okay? If you think, you will get what are the points that you can, what are the things that you can suggest in verbal communication. And non-verbal communication, when you are meeting a person, how you are going to dress, how you are going to keep your hair, how you are going, what kind of shoes you are going to wear. Okay, how much distance you are going to keep, how much you are going to stand, how much you are going to sit. Okay, what are your facial expressions going to be, how you are going to place your hands, whether it is going to be hand folded, where you leave your hands free. These are the techniques. 5 techniques you need to write. 5 verbal techniques, 5 non-verbal techniques, right? So in this video so far we have seen 2 important soft skills which are very, very important for your academics, for your career, for your life, in your family, in your society, in the work front, anywhere. Okay, what are those? Non-verbal communication and interpersonal skills, right? So I hope you enjoyed and understood this video. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon for my upcoming videos. Thank you all for your time. We'll meet again in my next video. Until then, take care.